What's up, beautiful people? I hope everyone is having an absolutely outstanding day today. And on today's episode of the podcast, I am going to be talking about happiness and why it doesn't correlate to everything in your life going exactly the way that you want it. Because I think in this social media kind of era, it's really easy for people to be like, oh, hey, look at this person's life. It's perfect. It's amazing. Of course they're happy. Not the case. And I kind of go into a little bit of detail about that. So stay tuned, listen, and enjoy. Okay.
Welcome to the Eli Kassab Experience.
All right, guys. So happiness and why it doesn't necessarily need to correlate to everything in your life going exactly the way that you want it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to use myself as an example for this one. I'm generally a very happy person and very positive, and not everything in my life is perfect. Like I don't have nothing is like everything's like exactly how I want it and everything like that. But I'm okay with that, and things are always coming up in life. Things are always happening. Things are always going to happen. Bad things, good things, and that's just kind of the nature of life. You're going to have, quote unquote, we'll say bad days. And what is a bad day? That's, nothing's going the way that you want it. But it's how you go about in handling it and your perspective about it. This is something for me that I've kind of practiced over the years with like smaller things that would happen and kind of gradually progress and was able to do it with like a lot of the bigger life events that don't necessarily go my way, but make it a lot easier for me to handle. And so, for me, like I hope that people don't think like my life is perfect. And everyone's definition of a perfect life is kind of up to interpretation, because what is perfect, that's a little bit different for everybody. So whatever your definition of a perfect life, I think a perfect life for me personally is just one that you're just, you're happy doing what you're doing. And like, that's it. If you're happy, then like everything else kind of falls into place. You know what I mean? And, for me, I'm still figuring a lot out in my life. I'm still like my job, my life, my career, what I want to do, where I want to end up. And like, I'm still very much like playing around with the fact, like, I'm not really sure like what it is that I want to do or I'm meant to do, but like, I'm just trying things and I'm just enjoying the process along the way. Everyone's like, oh, are you going to move back to California or are you not? I'm like, I don't know. But, right now I'm in a happy place because I choose to be. Like, what is it that I have to complain about in the grand scheme of things? A lot of the times I think people get caught up in looking into other people's lives and being like, oh, like, and they want like some aspect of it, and if there's some aspect of your life that you're not happy with, then make some changes. You know what I mean? Like it's easier said than done, but it is doable. And so, for me, it's just, choosing not to let the things that I can't control bother me. So for example, if, like on a Monday, if a lot of bad things happen on Monday, and on my last episode, I talk about, how Monday has a sort of negative connotation to it, or just a negative mindset with Monday. And, let's say, I get into a car accident and I get a speeding ticket and I lose my laptop and my phone and whatever. And I just, everything goes wrong. And I'm like, okay, well, I look at each of those, issues that come up. And I think, well, what can I do to remedy the fact? So if I got into a car accident, I'm like, well, what can I do? All right. And I go over that and I'm like, okay, well, here's what I can do. And I do those things. And once I've done, if there's nothing else I can do about it, then that's it. Like, as long as I'm okay and the other person's okay or my family is okay, like, what do I really have to complain about? Like the car, if it's a brand new car or an old car, it doesn't matter what kind of car it is. Like, in the end, is that accident going to matter, when you're 80 or 90? You know what I mean? Like, just from the materialistic standpoint, I hope that, if that happens, everyone's safe and everything else, but like medically that all changes. But logistically, and materialistically, like it doesn't matter. Like the car is going to get fixed. You can't undo it by stressing and worrying about it and having it ruin your day. It is not going to undo the fact of what happened. So, why need to worry about it? Like, and I get it. It sucks. But like what happens is now that kind of puts you in this bad mood, and and everyone senses that, both, in a professional setting and a personal setting. Like when you're in a bad mood, people notice it, and that affects your personality, affects your tonality when you're talking to people, affects your work, and then personal relationships, and it affects you as an individual. And so for me, I choose not to let those things that I can't control affect me in such a negative way where all of a sudden I'm in a negative mindset personally, and then it also affect the people around me that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. To me, it's not worth it. Like, oh, I got a speeding ticket. And then I'm like, okay, that sucks. Okay, why would I like lose sleep over it and get all pissed off and then like, and be angry the rest of the day? And then like, oh, I got a parking ticket on top of that. And oh, I got like fired from my job. And then, just stuff just happens. Like if it's not in your control, there's no need to worry about it, because the worrying part is not going to do anything. You're not going to change it. You're not going to undo it. So focus on control the controllables, and don't worry about the uncontrollables. Basically, you got to let things play out if you can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? And easier said than done. And this is something that I've practiced this. And you're like, well, how do you practice this? Like, I think I started doing it in school, because I used to worry like a lot, like in school, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this test, this assignment, I need to pass this, I need to figure out what I want to do, and blah, blah, blah. And I started off with just assignments and tests and stuff. I'm like, okay, like why am I like spending energy and time inside my head worrying and stressing about X, Y, and Z in school? And I said, you know what? Like, just focus on what I can control about it. I can study, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that. Perfect. Okay, let's do all those things. Let's focus on that, and then let the rest of it play out how it's supposed to play out. If I study and I do all the right things and I fail the test, I deserve to fail it. That's on me. And what do I do after that? Well, it just depends on what, like, retake the class, retake the test, whatever. If it's applying for a program that I really wanted to get into and I didn't get in, okay, well, reevaluate and take a step into figuring it out, and not lose sleep over what you don't have any control over. And so that's something, again, I've just practiced a lot. And nowadays, like that's why I'm always just generally in a happy and positive mood, because at the end of the day, none of it matters. If I lost my job, if this person did this, if I got in an argument with this person, if my car got totaled, if, whatever, like shiz hits the fan, like, I think about it. I'm like, okay, well, when I'm 80 or 90, is this going to matter? No. Like, okay. And can I do anything about it? No. Then I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I don't lose sleep over anything, like, ever. I don't remember the last time I couldn't sleep at night because I was like up late, stressed and worried about something. It'd been a really, really long time. And I put everything kind of in the back of my mind. I'm like, and again, focus on, control the controllables. You guys have probably heard that before, but it takes practice. Some people might come natural. To me, it wasn't the case. To me, that was something that I started practicing when I was a lot younger, because I had somebody teach that to me, and I was like, what, it kind of makes sense. And that's something I personally wanted to implement in my life, and so I've been practicing it ever since, and it's turned out really well for me. And I'm not saying that what I'm saying is right or wrong. I'm just saying this is what works for me, and it's just my perspective on life and things. You know what I mean? Like I choose to be happy because I don't want to let other things, change that and alter my mindset. To me, it shouldn't. Like, why would it matter? You know what I mean? Like, and then that affects you, not just you yourself, but like everybody around you. So not only am I thinking about it from like my personal perspective, like of how it makes me feel, but then the fact that, if I have, if I'm like stressed and like worried and angry or upset, then the impact it has on those around me. And so now it's affecting my relationships. So now I'm letting this one thing, whatever one bad thing, like insert one bad thing here, whether small or big or whatever it is. And and I'm going to let that affect my relationships and the people that I love and that I care about and around me. And, I choose to not let it do that. And so, I just want to encourage you guys, again, happiness, is a choice. And I do preach that. And so I figured I'd go into this episode discussing a little bit of how it's a choice. It's your perspective on things and how you choose to handle it that basically dictates, your happiness. It's not necessarily like, oh, they're happy because everything in their life is going exactly the way they want it. False. Like that never happens to anybody. Okay. Me included. Okay. But it's how you choose to handle it and the perspective you take on it. And it's just choosing to, see the bigger picture and understand things happen and kind of move on from it, I hope this, resonates with some of you guys. And, I hope it kind of gets you guys thinking a little bit, again, it's something that I've implemented, in my life, and it's had a positive impact. And it's, one of the main reasons why I'm just usually just in a good mood and just positive and happy all the time. And so, I fail to let the things that I can't control get to me. And so, not to say I don't do anything about it, but again, control the things that you can control. And if you can't, and there's nothing you can do, you just got to let it play out and let time take its course. Okay. And sometimes that can take a week, a day, an hour, a year. It kind of varies from issue to issue. So, that's my message for today. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. And thank you for listening. I do appreciate it. I've been getting a lot of support on the podcast. A lot of positive feedback, and I appreciate it. I'm still having fun with it, and I've got some more interviews lined up. Schedule's getting kind of tough because I'm in the middle of my busy season right now with work. So I'm going to do my best to kind of get those underway and continue to just kind of spread my message and to make sure we implement some more kind of positivity in this world where it has just a lot of negativity in it. So anyway, you guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Love you guys. And, please share, comment, let me know if there's anything you guys want me to talk about, and please never hesitate to reach out to me, through phone, text, email, any one of the social media platforms, whatever, DM, please reach out. If you guys got questions about anything, I'm gonna open the book. Just ask. I'll be happy to help in any way that I can. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Okay. Peace.